Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. If you want to watch me live stream every single day in Discord, I think it's pretty worth it. It's pretty cheap too. Just click the WAP link in the description. People are saying there's not a way to play with card. There's a crypto option and there's a normal option to play with card. Okay, make sure that you check both options. Okay, there's 4 options. One for the platinum, one for the gold, and each of those will have a crypto and non-crypto option. So make sure you're checking that. The other thing is, if you want to, the Apex sale ends tonight. Make sure you use code SAVE80. Click the link in the description if you want to get an account. Strongly recommend it to get better, especially futures. So yeah. All right, let's get started with this video. So today's video is going to be about a strategy with no daily bias. Okay, a lot of people ask me or say they suck at daily bias. Okay, and that's fine. I think the number one reason people suck at daily bias is because they try to predict the daily bias when there's nothing to predict. For example, where we're sitting right now, I'm not sure if we're going to bounce off this or not. Okay, I want to see the reaction for CPI. What I'm waiting for, ideally, is just if we close under this. I know the daily bias is short, but do I really have a bias right now? Not really. I'm more neutral right here. And yeah, that's my thought. So a lot of people, they suck at the daily bias because they don't know. They try to predict the daily bias when you really can't sometimes. Okay, and people don't understand it. But if you use this strategy, which I talked about in my Sunday night class, okay, there's no daily bias required. So what you're going to want to do is go to indicators, type in previous day high and low. It's by SBTNC. It's this one right here. Let me just click this. Okay, it's by this dude. I think I already have it enabled. Okay, so it's already enabled for me. So just turn that on. Okay, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna mark out the previous day's highs and lows. Okay, and when it does this, okay, you can draw a black line to extend it over. But you can see, okay, if we're in between the previous day high and low, do not trade. You only are allowed to take a trade if we hit the previous day high or low, and then you look for reversal setup. So it's kind of like trading the edges. So you don't trade between this, which sometimes New York can take a little bit to hit these highs and lows. Some days you're just not going to get a trade. For example, today, okay, we never hit the low till 3:30, and by that time, what do? We look for a 1-minute setup. Okay, just looking at this right now, I don't really see anything good here, to be honest. The only thing I see is this inverse right here. So I would say this inverse. When you close above this, it's an inverse, and you target right here. But other than that, I don't really see anything. So we hit low a day. You look for the long setup. You see this inverse setup right here. We close over. We don't hit the internal high. Okay, and we kind of retrace. And the nice thing with this is you don't have to use the inverse for a value gap strategy. You could use order blocks. You could use any strategy you want for an entry type as long as you see it. For example, some people might have entered off this order block. Okay, maybe you're an order block trader. You can enter long off this order block, and then all you want to do is you try to do a 2-to-1 R if you can. If you did this inverse one, it would probably be close. You targeted right here. Yeah, this would be 1.65. So this one, I would only get 1.65 out of this because I'm not going to gamble that we're going to break this. Okay, but this is the strategy. So ideally, it's probably best in the 5-minute, but if you're a more seasoned trader, you can do it in the 1-minute. Okay, so let's just go over this. So I'm just going to extend this out. Right here's previous day high. Here's previous day low. You can see we don't even get close to previous day low yesterday. Okay, and then you look for the setup. So we see that we hit previous day high here. Okay, and you can add a bunch of things in this. You can add volume spikes in this. You can check the volume. Maybe see if this is a volume spike. If you see a volume spike going over previous day high or low, generally that's probably a good sign because that means probably a liquidity purge or liquidity grab. Okay, so right here we go over. Okay, we get the inverse. You can see we dump we retrace, body never closes back over, and then here's your short. Okay, and for this one, I probably would have gone stop for runners. Okay, but I would have targeted this low, took some at this low, and I probably would have gone stop for runners. Okay, but you're going to see how simple this is. It still gives you a decent move if you know, right? If you put your stop up here, or stop would be the close above. So that could, I'll just put it right there. But you can still get a pretty good RR. This is 1.82 right here, just to this low. Okay, and I probably would have tried holding a runner to none here because this looks like good low resistance liquidity. But you can just clearly see how this works. So I'm just going to go over again to the day before this. I'm going to got to go back in NQU 2023. Okay, and when you do this indicator, make sure you go on, type it like 20 here, so it shows you the 20 past. So if I just go over again, okay, we'll look at right here. Okay, we hit previous day low here. Okay, so being that we hit previous day low here, we look for a long setup. Do we ever get a long setup in this candle? Nope. Do we ever get a long setup down here? Nope. And then finally, you can see what happens. We inverse this 5-minute fair value gap. We inverse this, we reclaim this order block. If you're not an inverse trader, you might be maybe there's a breaker in a smaller time frame, but you can see right here, 3 for 3 already. Right? We close above. Here's the inverse. We hit low day. You long, and you at least try to go for 2 risk reward if you can. Again, close for this one would be stop under, which is pretty tight. And really, you're just going for 2R. So this one makes sense to just target 2R right here. And you can try to hold longer if you want, but I backtested this, and this seems to be the best result if you just go for the 2R and don't even try holding longer. Okay, I'll go over one more. So if we go back to here, okay, right here, here's previous day high, right here. Okay, here's previous day low. Okay, we do not trade in between that. We just keep going over till we hit it. And ideally, when you hit it, it needs to be London kill zone, or it needs to be New York kill zone, or it has to be London, New York. Okay, this one you can see happened in London. Okay, you can still wait for New York. You can clearly see right here. So here's low a day. Here's us inversing this fair value gap in London, and you can just see it goes to 2R pretty quickly. It goes to this target really quickly. Okay, and then you can see New York ends up holding it anyway, so you can still look for long in New York if you want off it, which happens. But you can see it works a lot cleaner in London here just because that's when it presented the long. Okay, so again, you can just see 4 for 4 from that. So again, I just went over 4 examples. I did not pre-plan this video, but you can clearly see 4 long examples were 4 for 4. Some days are going to happen when you're sleeping. If you're a New York trader, some of these setups happen during London. Which is fine. But if you play around with this and only use previous to high and low, this strategy can really suit you well, especially because it's like a simple, you know what to look for. You don't have to do anything complicated. You just look for the entry criteria you look for best, right? Some people might like inverses. Some people might like order blocks, right? Some people might like volume balances. So I really suggest trying out the strategy, and let me know how it works. So this is going to be the end of the video. If you wouldn't mind, leave a like, and let me know some other video suggestions I should do. I'm really close to 10K, so would appreciate if you dropped a sub as well, but all good if you don't. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and peace out.